Welcome to Unsigned 518. I am here again with Vintri Hill. How's it going?
It's going good.
And I guess we'll start here. Introduce yourself to the folks and what you do in the band, and we'll go around the room.
I'm Vincenzo. I'm the lead guitarist, well, only guitarist, and lead vocalist.
I'm Dimitri Cerrone. I am the drummer and comedic relief.
I am Tyler Munson, and I play the bass guitar.
And while, we have had, Vincenzo and Dimitri on the show before, we have not been introduced to Tyler. And this is, it kind of goes back, it ties in, like this is like a sequel episode of sorts. Like I almost want to go back to your initial episode and be like, stay tuned for the update. But I guess update us with what's happening with Vintri Hill.
Yeah, so I mean, just kind of going back, a little backstory of how I joined the band. I've always been a huge fan of their music, and I've known Vincenzo since I was probably about like 5 years old. So I was at a show one day. I knew they were looking for a bass guitarist. I was just coming out to support them. And then after the set, I have never played bass in my life. This was back in like probably June or July. I was just like, what if I learned bass? And went home that night, bought a bass, and here we are today.
Now, had you played guitar before?
Nope.
Nothing.
I played saxophone for about 8 years. So
well, I mean that's something.
It's something.
Like,
Yeah.
It's it maybe doesn't line up, but it's music. You have some music theory in there.
I do have some music
and keeping
theory.
time.
Yes.
And understanding of what a fucking note is.
Yep.
And like,
Yes.
so you had a foundation.
Yeah.
So you're saying July, like of last
year. Yep. So that's when I bought the guitar. I hadn't really played it that much at first, but around late September, early October, they had a show at the Hangar with FC Inc., which is Franche Coma's band. And so early October, we just started drilling through the set list. They had, I think it was like a 12-song set list around there. Yeah. So I just learned all those songs. That was basically the first time I had played. So it was a pretty cool experience. Yeah. Just.
And when you were learning the song, like, because these were songs that you have like on, that are recorded. You have recorded. Yeah. So was it mostly sitting in your room, pounding through the recorded version, playing along with it, and then bringing it to these two and playing along? Or?
So I mean, Vincenzo basically, like, it started out with him just from scratch. Like I would go over to his house. He would have a few songs, or like we started out with like one song at a time, where he would just kind of show me the bass line, and then I would go home and I would drill through it like 100 times a day. But it took a while. The first couple months were rough, but
I mean, even if because I play bass as well, and I like switched over a couple years ago, but I also switched over after 30 years of guitar, so it was like not that difficult of a switch, but it was still learning songs and learning techniques, even with that deep background, it took time. So, so to not only be learning that, but learning a brand new instrument, like it must have been a lot of work,
Oh, yeah, it was. But I mean, it was worth it, 100%. Yeah. I would not go back and change anything. So glad that I made that decision.
And so that was, you joined the band like basically full time, like, and learned as you were already a member of the band. So we're talking not quite a year ago, or about a year ago.
It would be, I was officially like, it was announced that I was in the band like the night of the show, pretty much. Like no one knew that they really had, like FC Inc. kind of knew that I was going to be there, but no one else.
It was like the show was in, I think it was like December 7th or something.
December 7th.
Yeah, it was early December. And like I started like working with Tyler, or we worked together on it in like October. So in like 2 months he was like show ready, and he fucking killed it. Sorry for the swear. He did a great job. He did terrific.
You could say he did fucking terrific, So nobody knew, but at this point you had already put in the work to like learn all the songs. And was it like a deliberate secret? Like were you kind of like, hey, we want this show to be like this explosive surprise of like, hey, we're in our final form now?
And it was cool because it was like, not only was it a show that we like got pretty much blessed the opportunity to open up for like the original guitarist of the Misfits, but we were able to star our first bassist, our like for the first time. I mean,
Right.
Yeah, and we didn't announce it. But, like the day of the show, we said, please, like we did a lot of promoting, but like the day of, we kind of like we like cryptically like alluded to like certain things. Like we did like a promo video of me and Dimitri talking about the show, and like we had like a bass guitar in front of an amp. Like, oh, why would there be a bass guitar?
Ooh.
Yeah. And then the day of the show, we were just like, you better come out to this because Vintri Hill has a massive surprise for all of you. And then like we got there, and then like Rob Smiddix from Radio X, he was like, oh my God, I knew it. It's a bass player. Yeah, you guys are fully complete. So so it was like a little event, I guess.
Yeah, if it since our last interview with you, with the first one, but the last one,
Right.
we have had people like, where's your bass player? You need a bass player. Bass player. And then finally to be able to come out and actually have a bass player, and for not only for us to have a bass player, but for him to actually come out and kill it was
Right.
like, it's just like a whole nother step up for us. That's huge and really opens doors that weren't open prior to having that.
I mean, it really does. And like, not only coming out and like killing it, and not only learning the instrument from scratch, but it must be cool for like you two to know that someone learned, spent that much time and learned an instrument to fit your band, and like, there's one thing of like someone joining your band, but it's like, oh no, that was meant to be, like he formed to join your band.
It helps the chemistry too, because as he said, he knew Vincenzo since he was 5. I mean,
we knew each other, but it's like we never really crossed paths that much.
Yeah, but regardless, like, it's someone that we've been around. So I think we had that worry. What was that? Was that Band Mix? What was that thing we were trying to look for? We were trying to look for bass players on Band Mix. And we had come across a couple, but the thing was, we were like, well, some are going to be too old. And then we also, like, we were like, maybe have a girl in the band, but it was like, would it be weird because there's 2 other guys, and it's like, would she feel out? And then it was like, there was just so many different things, and we're trying to filter through. And then some people were like, well, I'm in this band and kind of play bass, so I kind of have the time to do this, but not really. So to have him step in, learn the instrument, have it be someone we know,
Right.
doesn't mess up the chemistry at all, if not makes the band stronger. So it's really just like, in all angles, we have grown so much from this in ways that I couldn't even explain a band growing without you actually being in those shoes and
Right.
watching it.
And I think it's
unfold.
like so important too, like more than anything, like you said, chemistry, and like having that, you knew him and you know who he is, and like that's more important to me than almost anything in a band. Because like I would rather play with people that I trust, that I know that I can get along with as a person, than the most talented person on the planet. Like, I'd be like, the most talented person who's a dick, I guess is like what I meant to say. But like, I'd rather just, because that's what it's about. That's what makes a band. And like, that's like almost like the definition of it. You have a band of people that have common interests and stick together. And that's how you make good music.
Yeah, we I think that was definitely the biggest issue. Is this like, okay, so we have to get like, what is this person even real? That just liked our profile on Bandmix. But yeah, so we definitely lucked out in with our luck department.
Hopefully we didn't use it all. I don't think we did, but I think we were pretty close. It was like 90% of our luck department we threw at Tyler. So, but he's definitely made the most of it, if not more. So I'm definitely really proud to be a part of something like this, where we've grown this much and really made something amazing out of it.
And how many shows have you played as the Power Trio since becoming a Power Trio?
I'd say so far since that December, it's been like 5, and then since our interview, I would say 11.
Yeah, because
that's
the
excluding
interview,
those 5. So
how
it's
long
been
ago was that?
That was like last April. Not April
Okay,
of
so like a year and a half
2024.
ago-ish.
Yeah.
Year and plus. See, I get them
Like-
all like totally confused. I'm like,
It's like-
you could have told me it was 3 years ago, and it would have been like, yeah, that
Yeah, it's
totally
probably
makes
3 years
sense.
ago.
You know, like, yeah, so a lot has happened
A lot of shows.
since your first appearance here.
An album came out.
Right. Yeah. When did the album come out?
The album came out in October.
October 16th.
You remember the day?
I only remember the day because I dropped my own album the day before. So the day after, I completely forgot we were dropping ours, so they kind of overlapped. But it was like that was kind of sick for me because I had 2 of my own projects to like sink in. So I was just soaking. Like I had a whole week of just like going between rap and punk, and it was dope. But yeah, October 16th we dropped it, and it got really good feedback. Like people loved it. It took what we were really strong in the first album, and it took in like I'd say like our heavier tones in a way. We kind of worked with some heavier tones that we did really well in the first album, but then also on our slower songs we really like honed in on what we were good at in those, and definitely having crescendos and changes of pace. We did that a lot too. Overall, I'd say that album was just awesome. Just everything we wanted it to be, it came out to be, and we listened through the first album and then listened to the second album, and the growth from A to B was just like, holy shit, like we're really like getting pace now, and it felt
And
good.
do you play on the album, or did that predate you?
That predates me. Yeah.
All right. But hey, you gotta.
Yeah, no,
now you have
yeah.
a starting point where you can grow even more.
And it's funny because like I recorded the bass lines for like our first 2 records,
Right.
And it's funny because the second album is very ear tickling bass line, and in a way we were shooting ourselves in the foot doing that, not having a fucking bass player to play with live, or like being a complete live band. So it's really cool that not only did Tyler learn bass, but he learned it to like a professional level.
Yeah, right out of the gate. You might as well.
I'll
Might as
stop
well
doing
just throw
tricks on
everything
it.
at it.
But
That's awesome. So I think we should probably hear a song. I don't know which one that you guys want to play, or play virtually, not in the room.
We'd love for the audience to hear Van Gogh. It's one of our favorites from the second album.
Okay. Anything you want to say about it before we hear it?
I'd love to.
Yeah.
It's essentially a song about this is a reoccurring theme in our music. It's feeling stuck where you are and being discontent with yourself and what's going on in your life, and maybe how you're treated, how things are going around you socially. You see other social things going on, you're like, what the fuck are these people doing, dude? So it's essentially like that. But I'd say it's kind of like, I want my life to be better, but let me tell you why it can't be. Essentially that.
All right, cool. Well, let's listen to Van Gogh, Vintri Hill, and then we'll be right back.
Let me paint a picture of my life and how it's supposed to be. Another blurry picture, I disguise everything I say. 'Cause I know it's wrong to feel this way, and I know it's wrong to feel this way, and I know it's wrong to defend myself, but I can't hear. Intrusive thoughts are headed at my face, I'm sticking to the wall. Another blurry picture of my life, isn't real at all. No, it's wrong to feel this way, and I know it's wrong to feel this way, and I know it's wrong to defend myself, but I can't hear.
That was Van Gogh, Vintri Hill. And I guess let's just, continue the tale of what's been going on with Vintri Hill since the last time we spoke.
All right. Since the last time we spoke, we played like a whole ton of shows. Very busy. I'd say 1 or 2 a month since the last time we spoke. And then, except for like during winter, there was like a grace period, but we still did like. I guess,
Winter's tough.
events.
It's tough to do gigs in the winter, man.
Yeah. But we still like did like there was like events going on that we were a part of though that we weren't playing, but we had to be a part of it. Like I don't know, a public appearance, I guess is what you could call it. But yeah, so we played on a float, like pretty much a float. I say a float, a flatbed of a truck, in Troy during a parade for Memorial Day. And then what else did we do? We played in Troy for the big Troy Pig Out. We went all the way to Alfred State for their Hot Dog Day Festival. This was like after our first interview. We went all the way out. This is like a 5.5 hour drive. And we played 2 shows in one day. One at a frat house and then one at the big main stage during the festival. And it was literally snowing during the main stage show.
Was it outside?
Yeah.
Oh,
it was
Jesus.
snowing. They weren't expecting it. It was at the SUNY Alfred, and it was snowing, and like me and Dimitri had to like bundle up, but we still played. I couldn't feel my hands
That sucks.
at all.
This is like mid to end April, by the way. This isn't like it's not like it wasn't
wow.
right after. Like we're talking like April 20th. So it was just snowing, and everyone's just standing out there, and we're like, what the fuck? Like I'm trying to play, and I can't feel my fingertips.
Right.
So. But yeah, we did that. The Memorial Day float was sick. That was awesome. It was like just going down the street and so much support from like the community, just for like not only for the veterans but also just for the music too was sick. And I thought that was awesome. What else did we hit?
I'm just trying to think of like big like niche like. Oh, sorry. I'm trying to think of like niche like concerts that we did that would be like, oh, that's a unique setting. I don't know. But we played the Empire Live does the EMAs, so they did the first ever like halfway to the EMA like sponsor party.
Extreme Music Awards for those
that's
not
true.
into brevity.
I'm so silly. But yeah, so we were a part of the have the first ever halfway to the EMA sponsor party with some like we played with some really cool local bands like Phoenix and the Raven, Out of My Head, Against the Rain. Oh, they're so good. And this band that's from like out of state, they're called they're in Massachusetts. They're called After the Winter. But it was a funny setting because it was this punk band, these 2 18-year-old kids, and we jump on a set with like these like hardcore metal, math metal, like death metal, and they like everyone loves each other.
Yeah.
It was so supportive. Probably the most supportive like show we've ever been, or one of the most supportive like function shows we've ever been a part of.
Yeah, I always say, and like it's the same in metal, and I'm also like a horror guy, and a lot of people are like, "Ooh, horror people are scary." I'm like, they're not. Like horror people are the nicest people you meet, and usually like the harder the metal, the nicer the human being behind it.
I swear to God, they get it out.
Yeah,
on
yeah,
stage.
yeah. That's
like then you talk to like these pop artists, and they're like
angry little
controlled by the
dickheads,
devil
you know?
and shit. Like, those are the people you actually have to watch for.
Yeah, yeah. Ugh.
Like the Kirk from Out of My Head, he's up there and he's like becomes like Satan, and then like you talk to Adam Levine in real life and he's like the biggest piece of
It's
dog
like
shit.
that old adage about punks and hippies. You know, it's like punks are good people pretending to be bad, and hippies are bad people pretending to be good. You know?
But yeah, overall the whole EMA thing was sick. Getting the nominations was awesome because we got nominated for Best Punk Band of the Year, and then what else? Jim, you're like our savior over
The
there.
band historian.
I just look over to him for.
That was for the EMAs, and then for the Listen Up Awards, you were also nominated for that, as well as Best Social Media.
Yep, we got nominated for Best Social Media. Shout out Jim. He's sitting over there. He's looking pretty. But yeah, overall it's awesome to just get those nominations, and it's great. I mean, this music scene we have up here, I mean, you know, you podcasts all the time. You're always interviewing people, and it's amazing the support that's up here. And it's
and I always say, like, I feel like it's a special thing, and like I've seen other scenes where like people don't get along like this.
No,
and,
because
like,
you have people coming in from, as he said, after the winter, like Springfield, Massachusetts, and we've seen there was a band, I forget their name, from Boston that came in. It was a while ago. Remember, we did a concert. It was a metal band. They came in from Boston. We've had we did a show. That was another show that we did. We did a show with Cool Keith, which Tyler was there for us with that, and that was sick. That was April 2nd of 2025. I'm dropping out 2025. It's already passed. As we're past this, it had already happened. But that was sick. He came up from the Bronx, I think. Was it the Bronx?
They're on tour.
But they were on tour.
Yeah, they were touring.
But just for them to come to Albany,
Right.
and to do it,
Right.
it's just our area has music and it's thriving, and people are pushing together, and it's just a great thing that we have going on here.
I agree, and I think everybody can work together in all facets to raise it up, and I think we're making great strides. Like, it gets better every year. Like, I think and maybe it's just my perception, but I feel like it gets better every year.
Speaking of the making strides, we also did we had a show for breast cancer awareness. We did we put together, that was a huge show. We had a huge show out for that, which was awesome. We had Cryptic Entertainment, which I am a part of. We had Curveball, we had Audebo, and then we had us, and overall amazing show out. We had we didn't have sponsors necessarily, but we had donate to societies for the American Cancer Society for breast cancer research and whatnot. In October we did that, so that was really cool too. But again, like, just to show that we're all making strides up here, we're all bringing the community together, and it's cool stuff we're doing, so it's awesome.
Hell yeah. So I think at this point we're at the point where we need to hear another song. So what do you got for us?
I'll introduce this one. You guys, who wants to? I'll introduce it. This I look over my two shoulders to see if anyone's eager to introduce it, and they're just like, you go. This song is called "Without Me." And there's a few tidbits of information on this. Something up and coming is a music video.
Nice.
For this, and we filmed with this really cool guy named James, and he's out in California right now, but he's like pretty professional. And it's gonna be choice. It's gonna look really cool. So this song is pretty much about feeling isolated and very inward on yourself, and feeling distant from people because you're overthinking about how you're affecting them. And kind of just like the urge to just like cut things off, burn bridges, or nuke them because you're just like so anxious about your impact on people, and if you're doing the right thing, doing the wrong thing. So it's called "Without Me." Funny enough, they're going to be without you. But yeah, it's really cool, and it's pretty awesome.
All right, well, let's check out "Without Me," Vintri Hill, and then we'll be right back to wrap it up.
Another night, staring at the wall, and I'm worried about nothing at all. I can't confess what I'm feeling inside. When I wake and get out of my head, you're always here. It's like you never left. I don't know why I feel this way. Each time I stand still, I think it's time to go. 'Cause there's someone you can see, and though you hate me, jump back and play. Yes, it's time to move on without me. Another night, staring at the wall, and I'm worried about nothing at all. I can't confess what I feel inside, but when I wait and get out of my head, it's like you're here, it's like you never left. I don't know why I feel this way. Each time I stand still, I think it's time to go. 'Cause there's someone you can see, and though you hate me, jump back and play. Yes, it's time to move on without me.
That was Without Me, Vintri Hill. And guys, I want to thank you so much for coming out here and doing this. And before we go, like I do with all my guests, I want to give you the chance to say your gratitudes.
All right, this is Vincenzo here. I'm very grateful and thankful for, I guess, everyone in the music scene that surrounds us and is supportive of us. I'm thankful and grateful for Tyler on my left, band brother, bass player, Dimitri on my right.
Thank you, Vin.
And of course, our manager, Jim. He's super cool.
He's definitely not like your dad.
He's definitely not my dad. But he wears a chain, so he's cool. And obviously, thank you, Andy, for having us. Yeah, and I guess Mom, all of our support system, merch team, social media team, everyone who books us and gives us a chance. Yeah, and handing it off to Dimitri.
I'm going to just branch off from what he said. Thank you to my family, always supporting me. My friends, my girlfriend, always there supporting me, always lifting me up when I, need it. Thank you for the scene. Mike Valeni, huge thank you to you for always looking out for us, always trying to get us gigs and stuff. All the bands that we do shows with. Andy, I'd like to thank you not only for getting us on the show, but also shedding light to all the underground here. It really makes a big difference in this scene. And yeah, I think that's my gratitudes.
Yeah, first and foremost, I'd like to thank Andy for having us on here, and I'd like to thank Calvin for being very supportive little pup during this podcast. But yeah, I would like to thank our listeners, each and every one of them. I mean, we love you all. Thank you to Vin and Dimitri for taking me into the band, even though I was a work in progress for sure when I first got here. But it's been a hell of a ride, and I'm hoping that keep doing this for a long, long time. So, thank you.
All right. So they are Vintri Hill. I am Andy Scullin. This is Unsigned518. I'll see you on the road. Unsigned518 is produced and hosted by me, Andy Scullin. New episodes are available every week wherever you stream podcasts. If you would like to help support the show, please like and subscribe wherever you are listening. Or you could buy me a coffee at buymeacoffee.com/Unsigned518. If you would like to advertise on the show, send me an email at unsigned518@gmail.com. And to be a guest on the show, reach out to me through Instagram at unsigned518. Take care of one another, and I'll see you next week.